Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Spicy Dice Boys. This is Zach, and I'll be your host for today's episode. Today we got a banger of a game for you. This is the third and last battle report from the January 25th RTT at Huzzah Hobbies in Ashburn, Virginia. And we have drawn Peter's Bretonnian list. That is friend of the channel and fellow Spicy Dice Boy Peter. We just did an army showcase for his Bretonnian Exiles. You guys should go watch that. It's awesome. And yeah, we're playing against each other. We are both 0-2, and we are at the bottom table of the last round of the event. So you know, only good and fun things happen when you're doing that. Yeah, I'll go over my list real fast. I've got a Prince on a Star Dragon with a tanky save, BSB on a Griffin with a tanky save and a Battle Banner, Core is Silver Helms and Reavers, Rare is 2 Skycutters and 2 units of Sisters of Avalorn. I'm not going to go over Peter's list too much. You guys can check out the Army Showcase. It's Exile, so there's a couple pegs, some cannons, some knights. One of the barons we call Paul Bunyan because he's got a frontier axe and just chops through everything. The second baron has a lucky heirloom for rerolling things, Iron Spike Shield for retaliating, and a Virtue of Heroism for a lot of Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. We call him the Antique Roadshow around here for all the little trinkets he's got. And there's a Falcon Horn. But for deployment, High Elves basically deploy heavy shooting on the right-hand side and all the beef in the middle with some Reavers and Skycutter on the left. Bretonnians deploy cannons on the hill with all the little trees poking out of the hill. This is Young Duke's terrain. It's awesome. Pegs behind a peasant screen and some knights front and center to match my Silver Helms. We definitely joked that we're going to run the Knights and the Silver Helms at each other and see who wins. Spoiler alert, nobody won. Nobody won that. They're just the same thing. One's elves and one's humans. For Vanguards, because there is a Vanguard banner on the pegs. Let's see here. Where did we go? Pegs, Vanguard up to the left. And was still trying to decide if he wanted to charge anything. But he tried to Vanguard to the left because he was talking about moving to the left of the woods. So still trying to figure out what he wanted to do. And yeah, that's it. As you can see, there's 2 people I'm playing against on the other side of the table. Not only Peter, but we decided to have Young Duke come and visit us. This is the substitute TO who came in on a pinch and was running the event. This is a picture of pretty much the 2 best painters in the room, and they're both looking at the awesome Bretonnians that Peter has. And yeah, Young Duke's just here harassing us, having a good time. See, everyone's having a good time. You guys should come out to events. We're a lot of fun. Young Duke actually has his own YouTube channel. I forget the name of it. It might just be Young Duke Kim, but he does a lot of lore, a lot of painting and conversions on old Hammer metal minis. You guys should check him out. This is the actual game now that we're into it. Bretonnian top of turn 1. The pegs do fly up on the left-hand side on the other side of the wood, kind of out of line of sight of the Silver Helm, so I cannot charge them. Cannons do some shooting, but I don't really think it does really much wounds. Falcon Horn did go off, so no flying on my end, and the Knights kind of scooch forward and stay out of range. Going to the High Elf bottom of turn 1. The Chariots are moved 2, so I'm basically doing some wiggling with them. And I know that the pegs are just going to be able to charge whatever they want because they are straight up in the middle of the board with a 19-inch declare range 360. So I'm in a good amount of trouble here. I misdeployed those Silver Helms, and I actually couldn't even charge the Silver Helms into the Knights like we planned because the woods are in the way. So the Silver Helms end up just marching into the center of the board and declaring a challenge versus anybody on the Bretonnian army that wants to come and charge them. Have at it. They're ready to fight. The BSB on the Griffin does end up charging those Knights of the Realm that Peter deployed in the center. And I basically reformed my dragon and my sisters to kind of look towards the left, towards those pegs, and did a little bit of shooting. I think I killed a peg with some shooting. As far as combat goes, the BSB did chop through a good amount of Knights, and I think they just fell back in good order. So the Griffin just pursued up with them. He was ready to fight. I was okay with that combat. Everything went okay. I did take a wound, but he's got 4 more left. He's good to go. Oh, what's Peter's army without a close up of the knights? These knights are awesome. Heraldry is all over the place. Every knight is different. I wish I got I hopefully I got a close up of the pegs. Some of them have really silly hats. But yeah, these guys are awesome. Peter does a great job painting. And this is a close-up picture of the next round of combat, but I guess I'll just show it now because I guess I'll highlight some of the pegs. Custom banners, custom heraldry on all this. Everyone's painted different. Peter's army is so nice. He does his custom base expander movement trays, so he's got like the old 40x40s, and he puts these little magnetic trays to pop on these expanders. Of course, the bases for the 50x50 royal pegs are here too. And yeah, I was joking that the higher the Bretonnian army is over the ground, like the higher initiative they have. So when you play Bretonnian versus Bretonnian, whichever pegs are mounted higher than the other ones get +1 initiative. But no one seems to want to do that. I don't know why. But yeah, actual turn 2 for Bretonnian. Kind of massive changes to the board state here, so I'll kind of walk through it all. And don't mind the cans of beverages kind of piling up on the right-hand side. We're clearly having a good time for this game. So the pegs do charge the flank of the Silverhelms, which I wasn't sure if he was going to end up doing that, but yeah, charge the flank of the Silverhelms. The peasants actually charge the front of the Silverhelms to try to basically get an additional charge there. He wasn't sure what I was going to do with those Silverhelms, if I was going to end up fleeing. So he tried to put a couple charges there to maybe try to run me down. Knights of the Realm on the far right charge the Sisters of Avalorn. And the Antique Roadshow Baron ends up charging the BSB on the Griffin to help out those Knights of the Realm. I was okay with pretty much all that happening. I was like, okay, let's get some combats going. We'll roll some dice and see how it shakes out. Let's see. So during combat, the Sisters of Avalorn, I believe, hilariously win the fight versus the Knights, and they give ground. The Silverhelms, they win combat versus the Pegasus and the Peasants, and end up following up on the Pegs who give ground. The Peasants who fall back in good order, we honestly forgot about them the rest of the game. It was just 3 dudes just hanging out in the middle of an entire battle, and everyone ignored them. The Antique Roadshow Baron, with all the Iron Spike Shield and trinkets, declares a challenge on my BSB, and I accept because I realize that, we might be in a little bit of trouble here because that combo is a little dangerous with Monster Slayer. So I strike first with my Lance. I roll 1-1 to hit, and when you roll a 1 against the Iron Spike Shield, it swings back immediately with a Strength 3 hit. But Virtue of Heroism gives that model Monster Slayer. So he rolled a 6 when he's actually wounding, and I failed my ward save, and my BSB was immediately dead, and that was the end of the combat, and it was hilarious. I thought my BSB was going to chew through some knights. The Baron comes in to save the day, swoops in, smacks him with a shield right on the forehead, and overruns, and my BSB is gone. Alright, let's get over to High Elf, bottom of turn 2. So the dragon failed to charge into the pegs, trying to help out the Silverhelms. The second unit of Avalorn Sisters charge into the Knights of the Realm on the right-hand side to help out their comrades. Basically, this game is now going the opposite of what I wanted. My BSB's dead, my dragon's failing charges, and I have, 20 Sisters of Avalorn fighting knights. Like, this is not how I expected this to go at all. The Reavers on the far left side that I kind of forgot to picture, they were basically doing nothing. They've been moving around the board edge, but they are finally ready to participate next turn with their short bows. So overall, the Sisters do end up winning combat versus the Knights and do a ton of damage to them. Peter was just not rolling armor saves. The Silverhelms do kill some pegs, but take a good amount of casualties back and end up sticking in. There's we got a Frontier Axe Baron in there with like -3 AP and giving the unit a ward save now. So that is something to remember. The Bretonnian turn 3. So not pictured, we have 2 cannons up at the top that ended up shooting my Reavers almost off the board. I think I'm down to 1 dude left. The cannons really didn't do anything this game, but all of a sudden decided to blast like 10 Reavers off the board. The Sisters are still stuck in combat fighting for their lives versus Knights of the Realm. Let's see here. The Antique Roadshow Baron ends up flying to the left flank of my dragon, so he's out of line of sight of where I can charge, and I'm not feeling too good about it. I don't want him to come Monster Slayer me again, you know? Like, I can't lose both my characters to it. And the pegs are, again, just slowly chewing away at those silver helms. I wanted to be fighting Knights of the Realm with these, but I end up fighting pegs. I'm not too happy about that. And the Knights end up losing combat, but they still stick around for one more turn. Let's see here. High Elf, bottom of turn 3. So the dragon does finally make it into combat with the pegs to save the silver helms. Spoiler alert, does not end up saving the silver helms and ends up losing combat himself and gives ground. The solo Reaver pictured on the left decides to move up with the chariot to try to kill the lone wizard that's been hiding behind the woods. They do end up shooting the wizard off the board, so nice job, gentlemen. Sisters are still fighting for their life versus the knights. They have one knight left to get through. They end up winning combat and restraining because there's a potential of these pegs that are going to come charging at them and they want to be able to shoot. Let's see here. Oh, Young Duke, if you're watching this, you see how this tree on your terrain is now broken, and you see Peter moving this peg past it? I think I found the evidence. I think I found the evidence that Peter broke your tree. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Yeah, no, having some good fun. Oh, okay, so Bretonnian, top of turn 4. The Baron on the Hippogriff here ends up charging my Sisters of Avalorn. Now, the Sisters of Avalorn, when they roll 6s to wound, you end up doing AP 3. So I rolled a bunch of 6s, and I'm thinking, I might actually be able to do some wounds to this Baron and maybe win combat. Maybe these Sisters of Avalorn are amazing in combat, and they might win again. And, yeah, the Baron actually saves all of them with 6s, because he has a 6-up armor save. Saves them all. Nope. All the work I did, nope. It's gone. So scooching into the combat, both of... Oh, you can actually see the charge icons here. The pegs end up charging the smaller unit of sisters. The Baron ends up charging the big unit of sisters. And I am not too happy about it because stand and shoots did nothing. They touch those units and blow them apart and overrun. So at this point, the only thing I have left in the board is... Oh, and the cannons end up blowing up the Reaver and the chariot on the left-hand side after they killed the wizard. So all I got left is a level 2 wizard on the bottom of the screen and a dragon in the center. That's all the High Elves left on the board. There is nothing left. As pictured. I got both of them in the picture. They are just not too happy to be here. Scooting into the High Elf bottom of turn 4. Wizard tries to cast a spell. I tried all game to cast a Pillar of Fire and I couldn't get it off. The dragon ends up valiantly charging the Knights of the Realm, who flee to live another day. And they're going to... This red knight right here is end up tooting the horn right in the dragon's face as he's running away. Almost made the pursuit, but came up short. So we ended up calling it here because we knew that those knights were going to basically, either die or flee. The dragon might get them. My wizard was going to die. The dragon was full wounds and not going to be enough to kill. So we ended up just kind of calling it here. Bretonnians had a huge win because all I have left is clearly a dragon. So in the end, I don't even really remember the score. We were both 0-2 at the bottom table, and we were having so much fun. But it was pretty clear that it was a Bretonnian win. Young Duke and the TO ended up coming over, and they were asking us, to submit our score. And we were joking around, and we were like, yeah, it was probably about 120 Bretonnian points to 89 High Elf points because we were trying to boost our scores up. And then they just saw right through the ruse, and they were just like, all right, so it was probably like a 12-8 instead of 120 to 89. And we're like, yeah, it's probably like a 12-8. But no, it was more like a 20-0 for the Bretonnians. But great time. I always enjoy playing Peter. We have a lot of fun. Yeah, it was good. If you guys see these armies, and you enjoy this kind of content, throw a like, throw a comment. I always accept feedback on what's going on. If you guys are local to the Mid-Atlantic region on the East Coast, show up to some events. You'll see us. You'll have some fun. I hope everybody has a great day. If you're watching this, I am probably playing in a GT in Pennsylvania on the February 1st weekend. So hopefully getting some more content for everybody with... the High Elves that are hopefully painted up at this point. I should have been painted by then. And hopefully not going 0-3. So there's always a plus. We're at the bottom. We're trying to go up here. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.